Scrappy friends, welcome to my channel today. It is day 12 for the Hannah and Megan summer video party, and that means that every day in the month of July we will be posting a video on our YouTube channels. I have a link below so that you can go to Megan's channel, but today I am still working on Christmas in July. Today is the last day of Christmas in July week, but I am still plowing through my December daily, so I am thinking that on Mondays I will be posting more December daily videos. So be sure to look out for that. But here we are on day 12. Yeah, so I'm on day 12 and I'm working on this 3x4 card page protector, and I have that photo of me sitting next to the tree with some coffee. It's always fun to sit next to the tree with some coffee in December, isn't it? I think it is. So I'm using this card. I believe that it was a printable, it's like a printable card. I want to say maybe it was one of the ones that Tori Bissell made, but I could be wrong, and it could be from one of the ones that I got from the Lily Pad. So the Lily Pad is a website that has a lot of well, not a lot. It's all digital product, but you can buy it and download it and print it out and use it for hybrid scrapbooking. So I use a lot of stuff from them when I do pocket pages because, I mean, for what you get for the price, it's like amazing. I also added that Ali Edwards felt heart, and then so now you see me putting in the card. That was from day 11. So if you didn't watch yesterday, I worked on that yesterday. So on the video that I posted yesterday. And so this picture that I'm working on now is actually one that I took before December started. Usually I start decorating a little bit after Thanksgiving, but I do like to take pictures. Sometimes I'll take them throughout the month and put them in too, but sometimes I will take pictures when I first decorate, and I like to put those in my album just so I can see how I decorated that year, because some years I do change it up. This year we did a lot of stuff on our on the mantle, and we took some of our big jugs. We have those I want to say Pilsner, but they're not, the growlers. So we took some of our growlers that we had and I put ribbon around them and stuff like that. So super fun. A super fun way to use those growlers when you don't have beer in them or cider. I think some of them we had cider in too. So, but they're super fun. So I had this 6x6 pad that was from Chamel when she did her Christmas collection, and I had some of those numbers left. So I'm cutting that one down a little bit. And as I was watching this when I was editing, I realized it was quite silly of me to think that I could use my trimmer on that really small piece. And I thought that even when I was going to do it. So one of the things I will recommend, if you're going to cut something small with your trimmer, one good way to help with that is to use a little bit of washi tape, and you can tape your paper down and it will cut a lot better. I can't guarantee that it's going to be perfect because even washi tape will unstick, but that is one of the tips that I've used when I have smaller pieces that I know I don't want to move around. Otherwise, you can just use your scissors. I tend to use my scissors for small stuff, but I tend to not like to use my scissors because I will not cut straight. Or it doesn't look straight when I cut it. I don't know if anybody else has that problem. So I'm also going to be adding this in between, like around my day 12. This is a picture that I also took at the beginning of the month. At the beginning of the month, we were starting this story book that we were going to read. So I homeschool, and one of the things that I've really been working on this year is to make sure that we're reading together. And so I will pick a book and we'll read through it. And I found this in some stuff that my parents had of mine from growing up, and it was a book that my third grade teacher had given us to read in class. And so I decided, hey, why not read it through all together? So super fun. And I'm going to come back to that because I didn't do the second half of the page. I just wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. But I'm going to work on this card, and that card that I'm using is Elle Studio. And so I went through quite a bit of my cards when I do this, and I just pick the cards that I think. I don't always show me going through these cards, so if that's something that you guys would like to see, let me know, and I can try to maybe do a slower version of a video where I pick through some cards at the beginning. I usually just do it as I know what pictures, because I try only to print a few days worth of pictures at a time, because otherwise I'm just spending like a whole day printing, which is possible. It probably would be easier if I really just had all of my pictures sent out and then sent to me. Probably would save me from ink, but I don't do that. I usually just print from home. Sometimes every once in a while I will get a larger amount of pictures printed somewhere else. So if you guys have a place that you really like to get your pictures from, let me know, because I've tried a couple of different places, and some of them I really liked and some of them I didn't care for. I want to say I wasn't really impressed with, I want to say Shutterfly. I thought their prints were really thin, and I mean, granted, they're really cheap. The price is reasonable, but I wasn't sure. Like on the cards that I had borders around, I want to say they did a lot of black, and I didn't like that either. So right now I'm just working, cutting these bigger photos that I printed off at home. And these I printed off in matte. So it's kind of hard to tell, but a lot of my 3x4s are glossy, and then my 8x10 papers that I print off are matte papers. I don't know why. I've done it either way. I feel like I don't really care if I have matte or not. But I will say, like, a semi-gloss is actually a really good medium, because you get a little bit more of that crisper image that you get with a glossy photo, but it's a little bit softer, and that's kind of the look that you get when you use the matte papers. But I do like the way the matte looks. It takes photos a lot better. Like when I take photos of it, it looks a lot better. But I also don't mind it either. So, I mean, it feels really nice. So now I'm working on this page, and I will say I am back to doing a whole different video setup. So I apologize if it looks a little wonky. I'm getting it situated. I pretty much at this point have to switch back to using my new stand, which is fine. And if you've noticed, I actually have a new desk. So, or a new table, I should say. So I did originally, I backed that paper present paper with all the Christmas presents. And I thought that would be a really fun background, but I wanted something else to kind of break it up and not just that tag. So I used a little bit of a scrap piece that I had from a different December daily 6x8 page that had like a grid on it. And I really like how that looked. And I just did like a smaller strip of it, so it would cover some of it, and then the tag. And I feel like with all that layering, it looks a lot more balanced than it did when I first started. Because I just wasn't sure how to balance it, because I thought it was going to be a little bit too crazy. And I know I say that because I do a ton of layering and all that other stuff, but I feel like it does make a difference when you're doing these kinds of albums. You do want to break up that craziness a little bit. I don't know. I could be wrong. So now you're seeing me figure out where I want to put this. I think I end up moving it back in between with the cranberries and that other page that I will have more pictures in. And so now I'm going through these page protectors. I'm trying to figure out how many of what I have, and if I had the ones with the 4x6 at the bottom and the 2 3x4s up at the top, because that's what I want. Because I know for the rest of day 12, I have a 4x6 and that little small, it's a 2.5 by 2.5 picture, and I'm going to cut it and put it on a 3x4 card. So I do like to cut it down to have it more of a 2.5 by 2.5 if I'm going to have a square photo. I could have did this a different view, but I would have needed to do it like a 3x4 or have it a little bit smaller and use a 3x4 size page protector. And I wasn't really sure I needed to do that, so I just did it 2.5. I did it square. So now I'm just layering these papers on this card. I just want something kind of different. And I'm going to tuck my photo in there, and it tucked in really well. I wasn't sure if it was going to do that. And then I take the rest of that tag that I had and I put it down at the bottom and add a little snowflake, and boom, you have something really fun for that card. So I really like how it turned out. It just kind of happened organically, and I don't usually plan I ended up moving the snowflake. I forgot I did that. And just added that little red banner. I have a ton of like Ali Edwards chipboard pieces because I bought like a whole bunch of chipboard. So I will probably be using that for like the next 2 years, which is fine because it gets it used. And so I found that card that said December Fun. I really wanted to have a space that I could do some 3x4 journaling spot, since I didn't really need to do too much as far as journaling with each of the photos, but I did want enough journaling to talk about my day. So I know I've mentioned this, but if you're new here today, one of the things that I like to do to help me with my journaling is I will keep a TN notebook throughout the month and make sure that I try to journal a little bit about different things that are going on for that day, or if there's something that I really want to remember or something that the kid said. A lot of times by the end of the month, it's really crazy, but it does kind of help. And it helped with this day because we did a lot of just like hanging around. I'm not sure if at this point we are not doing school that much. I know usually in December, somewhere around the second half of the month, and it's not always precise, we usually tend to not do much school, or we will do like 3 days a week. I really do like to have a lot of December to just enjoy the month and enjoy all the fun stuff. So I want to say that week we didn't do school because I know there was a couple of, what was it, the 10th or 11th, we watched a whole bunch of The Masked Singer during the day. But yeah, so I did want to put something else on there before I started my journaling, and I thought about that red little longer thing, but I just didn't like how that looked, and I thought about that circle heart, and I just decided to stick with just the acrylic color cast heart. And then I'll do my journaling, and I just talk about how it was a lazy day. I baked and did some stuff to prep for a Christmas party that I had on the 13th. And so the kids played games in the morning, and it was a cooler day. So we had soup and grilled cheese, and it was just fun. It's just nice to have these days where we don't, like, we do a little bit of stuff, but I get to have like holiday stuff mixed in with normal everyday stuff. So now I believe I am working on day 12. No, day 13. So I am going to start day 13, and then I will show the rest of that when I post more December daily, because I don't finish this. But I wanted to use those two pictures. The one of the cookies is actually a picture I took earlier in the month because that is my favorite snack throughout December. I love pfeffernusse and all the yummy German cookies. They're not all pfeffernusse, but a lot of those are on there. And it's just like a gingerbread cookie coated with the sugary outside, and they're super yummy. And then that picture of the little like church lighthousey house picture is from the Christmas party, the women's Christmas party. So I took a few pictures, and I wanted to do something more with this card. I really love the red. So I took this die cut, and I'm going to cover up the believe just because I don't really need that. And I'm going to add what I had at the bottom up at the top and do something fun. I really liked how this turned out. It was super fun, and it was fun to just kind of layer some stuff. I want to say I add a button up at the top too, a gold one, just to kind of cover up. There was a little bit of red there from the banner, and I wasn't really sure I wanted that to show. And I am going to put 13 in there, so I know it's day 13. And so I think I'm just about done with this. So I want to thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for watching my channel throughout this month. I've been having a lot of fun doing all these posts, and it's been crazy, and it's a lot of work. My poor family haven't seen me as much, but it's really fun, and I've really been having a blast commenting with you guys in the comment section. So definitely be on the lookout, because like I said earlier, I will be sharing more December daily as I get working through it. So I figure on Mondays I will try to post those videos. But I will see you guys later, and I hope you guys have a great, scrappy week. Bye.